Wow, it's a lovely misty morning. Beautiful conditions. Going to be a bit sunny and bright later on. Apparently supposed to be some heavy showers, so I've brought with me my poncho. Nice way to keep dry. It also acts as a tarp if I want to. Anyway, I'm going to start off in this real little tight swim with a lot of overhanging tree. See if we can get the fish going a little bit and see if I can pick up one or two on the bread flake and then mosey on downstream. Yeah, it's beautiful to be out, always beautiful. So happy to be bankside again, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are. Anyway, I put the camera down. I'm gonna make ready with the bread flake. We're in. Small chub, about £1.5 pound. I'd say about £1. Oh. Lovely chubbly. There we go, how about that? Mist is just rising off the river. First beautifully golden chebbing. I'd estimate around about £1 to £1.5. Very nice. Nice little scrap there as well. Cracking. Nice way to commence my first trip of the river season. Lovely. Yep. Gotcha. It's a good one. A very nice looking jibber. Oh yes, that's a firm fighting fish. Excuse the camera angle, guys. Really hard bank to get it into, actually, this particular spot. Yeah, nice chevy number 2, and it's a nice looker. How about that then, guys? What a staunch, hard fighting summer chevy. Check out that enamelling and that set of large grey lips. Smashing. And smash and grab on that little 5'5", 1.5 pound Tesco Advanta Ambush rod. I'm going to give this fish away. As you can see, it's a good fish. Wow, lovely. Nice lump of bread flake. Always tell the better chub. Real solid bite. Good fight as well. Cracking, real ambush hit and hold stuff as he tried to make for a lot of cover under my near bank and the opposite bank. Wonderful. It's what we come for. Gotta be honest, I've only brought about 7 slices of bread with me, so I'm not going to have enough bread. I have got corn pellets and meat with me. Hardly doom and gloom. Smaller chevy. Nonetheless welcome than the others. Lovely, hard scrapping, rebellious juvenile chub. Beautiful. Right, well, I thought I'd take this chance as it's a little bit quiet in this swim and I'm going to be moving on. Take this chance to talk with you, talk you through what I'm using today, what tackle I'm using more importantly, because I do say about rods and that, and I do talk about baits, and I do want to lead on to that, so do sit yourself down, and which you probably are anyway if you're watching the video. I hope you are, you're not floating. But I'm going to go into baits and talking about what I'm using today anyway. So, rod today, angling direct, Advanta RVS River Ambush rod, 5'5" long, right short rod to get in those pokey and tight swims, which you know that I love to get into, guys. Like all things, it swings and roundabouts. There's certain swims where you really do want a long rod, and then when you take a long rod you can't fish those tighter swims, so that's what I've gone with today. The reel is a Gautier 6-ball bearing GTS GT 500S, and very simple, very light link leisure setup, the most basic link leisure that you'll see. Swivel, a little bit of line folded over, single SSG shot, little soft gripper stop there so I can extend or lengthen or shorten the actual end tackle. Going down from there using a size 8 power tracks to the hook today. Now, you always try and tailor your baits, you know, the size of the hook to the size of baits you're using. But even though we're after chub today, you know, certain days where you'll find them feeding really voraciously and the bites are really hammering bites, really warm, you know, you'll get days where they're being finicky, and it does pay off then to obviously fine down your tackle, fine down your hook size. If you're fishing big bits of bread flake, you really do want to be using a size 8 hook, size 6, no smaller than a 10 in specimen size. Personally, I prefer 8s and 6s. Sounds a bit heathen to use a size 6, but believe me, if you're fishing big bits of cubes of meat, or you're fishing bread flake, then you really do, you know, if you're using big bits of bread flake, or you're using floating crust and free lining, then you do want to be on a sizable hook to fit in that cavernous mouth. Going on to bait wise, you know, it hasn't got to be expensive. In my opinion, that's the joy of fishing in general. I mean, even with your carp fishing, you haven't got to make it expensive. It's expensive as you want to make it. I'm not saying you won't catch better on better quality baits, but there's a certain level of ability that you can attain, and certain catchability you can attain by applying just good solid watercraft, and you don't need the most expensive baits to catch. And that's a lot of what my fishing's about. I don't like spending too much money if I can help it, but at the same time I do love buying, like most of us anglers do, buying bits of tackle. And as you've seen there, the angling direct rod, that's all paid with by my own money. I don't want you to think that I'm getting paid for product placement. This is purchased by me. So yeah, anyway, going back to the bait side, you know, today I'm using bread, got luncheon meat with me, I've got worms, I've got corn as well. It doesn't need to be expensive. The worms are out of the wormery, you can dig them, you know, go over your local heath or your local fields and dig them up yourself. And, you know, a loaf of bread, which I wish I'd brought today, a loaf, but sadly we didn't have a loaf in, so I've tried to leave the rest of the family with a few slices of bread, and I've taken around about 10 slices. Problem is I've used about 5 of them already, and we're only a short way into the trip, so I'm going to see me having to change baits. But yeah, you know, it doesn't have to cost a lot. In my opinion, it's better to try to apply your watercraft. Plenty of cheap baits, cheap supermarket baits out there that will work for most species. You know, as I say, it hasn't got to be an expensive hobby. Anyway, leading on from that, show you what I'm using in the way of landing nets today. You're going to really be thinking that I'm being paid to place these products. This is actually an Advanta as well, angling direct. I tell you what, I'm dead impressed. It's really strong. It's a foldable 22 inch this is. You can get them in a 30 inch, which I'm probably going to purchase. It's got a hinge here, very sturdy hinge, and it's foldable, so you undo it, nice strong spreader block, and that folds in half, and that's an Advanta Discovery Specialist folding net. I tell you what, it is absolutely fabulous. Really nice, really impressed. What I always worry about, and I've had it with a few cheap landing net heads, the blocks, the actual plastic's brittle. It doesn't take a lot for even a heavy chub to, over time, to wear this out. You'll find that the actual thread comes out, or this mould where it's plastic or vacuum moulded. My father was actually a plastic manufacturer, so he knows a bit about this kind of thing. Where it comes off the mould, it can be a very brittle, or they don't get a very good mix with the plastic. And I've had these shear off before, but I tell you what, this is a real chunky block, lovely and strong. Very, very impressed. Very, very impressed. And as I said, this is a 22 inch Advanta Specialist Angling foldable angling landing net. Foldable landing net, sorry. Anyway, and I tell you what, this is new for me. I'm using the following, and I'll show you what that is. I'm sure some of you lure anglers know that out there. It's Gunki or Gunki. That's one of their folding telescopic landing net poles. This is the pocket landing net pole. I tell you what, I wish I'd had one earlier in my fishing. It's absolutely superb. Real strong carbon, really compact. I mean, this shuts down to 30 centimetres and extends to 1.95, 2 metres. So you get a good length out of it. It's compact. You can just slide it into your rucksack. You can, you know, if you're like me and you want to travel light, it's absolutely wonderful. So yeah, that's what I'm using. That's my landing net, my rod, my link leisure setup. I'm not using my low resistance setup today. It works just as good, this does, as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, bait wise, as I've said, sweet corn, as you've seen there, bread, worms and luncheon meat. Anyway, I'm going to crack on, mosey on downstream and see if we can pick up a few more fish. trying to get under my new bank again. It's not a bad fish. Oh, it's quite a nice fish. Oh. Oh. That hook is just in the lip. Oh, be so careful. Oh, no. Oh, that is on it. There you go. Out with that snag. That's a good one. It's a nice looking brassy chub. I tell you what, that's a nice fish. I tell you, that was just, took that as I cast out. I was just settling down, putting the rod in the land. Getting tongue tied today, aren't I? It's all the adrenaline. I was just setting and putting the rod on the rod rest. And the line just tightened up and went downstream. It's just picked it up and swum downstream with it. And I tell you what, that's a nice fish. Oh, well guys, that's how I like my summer chub to look. Mean fighting machine. Toned and muscular. What a scrap. It's a quality fish, as you can see. Lovely brass tones. Powerful tail. Nearly stuck me under those snags. Wonderful. Couldn't resist taking that bread. I believe it took it just as I was putting the rod in the rest. Basically on the drop. Wonderful. Let's draw myself back a bit. There you go. Brilliant. Let's get it slipped back. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable trip. I'm absolutely chuffed. Absolutely chuffed. Get in there. It's a nice one. Oh, I just lost a really good fish. As you can see, I pushed it down to the side of me. Lost a really good fish that snagged me and then got it out the snag. It smashed me up. I tell you what, they're frisky. Oh, there we go. Another very nicely built summer chub. Lost one in there. I tell you, they're fighting damn hard and damn dirty. Yeah, brilliant. Lovely condition. Absolutely corking. Shame about the one that I lost. I think that was either a small carp or a trout. Seemed to gyrate and take off like a trout would. But I guess I'll never know. Can't complain though. Can't be bad, can it? Lovely condition. Beautiful markings to it. Absolutely gorgeous. Quite a nice chub, guys. Let's try and get his head into that weed. Oh, it's a nice weed. Yes, there's the crackerjack. Nice channel there between the weed beds. Instant bite. Lovely. Oh, that's a good fish. That's a really nice fish. Really nice. And what a scrap. Ooh, I tell you what, if chub fishing, be it summer or winter, was a drug, they'd make it an illegal Class A activity, I tell you. That's a very nice summer chubbing. Very nice. Oh, how about that for a lump, guys? Oh, what a beauty. You cannot beat a bit of summer chub roving and stalking. Really took that nicely down the channel where the weed is. Nice clear spot. What a scrap. I'm going to weigh this one. It's a nice fish. They've all been beautiful fish. Oh. Excuse my language. I don't know if the camera just caught that. I just had a weasel pop out in front of me. A baby. It's either a stoat. I think it was a stoat actually. Could have been a weasel. Whoops. Out not that big. Just looked at me and then run off. Oh, that's why I love fishing. You see so many different things. Yep. Nope. Oh, he's pulled in the weed. It's a good bite. Oh Lord. Apple. Gone in the weed. Bar lamb. Oh, got him. Still connected. That's a bad fish, isn't it? Oh. Oh, he's trying to put me in this. Get out of there. You are not going in there. Oh, that's a good one. It's a nice fish. That's just on popped up crust. And by popped up I mean almost fished below depth, a bit like you would fish a zig if you was carp fishing, just below the surface. So the depth here, off of here, it's around about 2.5 to 3 foot, and I was fishing that around about 12 inches, so the little long piece of crust just popped up invitingly. That can just pick you up an extra fish when maybe the fish just are going off the feed, or they're getting a little bit wary and dropping back in the swim. That's a very nice fish though, very, very nice fish. Nearly put me, there's a post just down here, and it nearly put me onto the side of the post. That's the only thing. Once again, as I said earlier, bring a short rod and you can get in lots of swims, but you lose that area of control on the larger swims. I tell you what, that's a nice fish, a nice fish. How about that one then, guys? Oh, what a staunch, battle-hardened warrior. I'll tell you what, it's got some marks on the other side. It's certainly lived a lot of a hard-looking life. I tell you what an impressive fish. Oh, lovely. Just on the popped-up bread crust, a little bit of the crust. Just fish below the surface and allowed to roll down. Yeah, lovely take, lovely fight. A beautiful, brassy warrior slips into the waiting net. Brilliant trip, thoroughly enjoying this. It's wonderful when a plan comes together. Yep. Oh, trying to power off into that weed. Keep it up. Oh, it's another nice one. Really nice looking fish. Beautiful gold tones. Oh yes. That's a beauty. Absolute beauty. Wow, look at that for a brute. Head went straight down into the weed beds. Gave me a merry old dance. But yeah, finicky bite. Just watching the front of the line, it was tightening and dropping, and then just developed, and I wasn't going to mess about. I hit that early on. Yeah, wonderful, lovely long fish. Look at that. I'll tell you what, it's been an immensely great trip. What a way to start the new season off. You couldn't get better from someone who likes their chub fishing. Trust me guys, it doesn't get much better than this when you're summer chubbing. Well, we've come to the end of another fishing trip. Could stay on longer. Been getting some bites in this swim behind me, but I've run out of camera battery on my action camera. Could film on this one, but I'm going to head off home and make my way. Left my bike just to, well, about 70 metres upstream. I've got it locked to a post, so I think I could just about make it out. I hope it is still there, of course. But yeah, it's just got all my gear nice and compact and used my electric bike to bike down, so it's win-win really. I've then locked it up and roved about, which has got to be good for your heart, hasn't it, and good for your fitness. I've got to admit, guys, I feel absolutely knackered. I got the sun, didn't get too much rain, but let's talk about the fishing. It's been absolutely spellbinding, hasn't it? Although I had the luncheon meat with me, I only used that in a couple of swims. Did get a nice big crayfish in one of those, but you know, that's the way it goes. Still a good bait to use. I baited up with the sweet corn. I did use it a little bit, missed a couple of bites on that as well, and that was after the camera battery went on the action camera. But yeah, the main bait and focus for the day, the bread. You can't beat it, bread flake, or as I was also using there, just using it just suspended off the bottom, popped up little cubes of the actual rind or crust of the bread. But yeah, wasn't it a wonderful fishing trip? I mean, wow, so many nice looking chubs, so many real brutish characters. You know, they're one of my favourite species. They really are. They've got an attitude to them. You know, they've got a real kind of character to each and every one of them, and a very individual and unique character. Anyway, as I say, I've got to get pedalling. So, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, do take time to consider giving it a thumbs up. For any haters out there, haters are going to hate, potatoes going to potate. So if you want a thumbs down, go for it, guys. You know, it fuels me and makes me want to make more videos all the time, because I've got such a good fan base of the good guys, the positive guys. Thank you so much for your support, guys. You know, I love making the videos, and you know, keep making them because you guys do enjoy them so much, and that gives me a lot of enjoyment back to me, that to know that you guys do enjoy my escapades and my trips, etc. Anyway, if you're not subscribed, do take time to consider giving it a click on the bell icon, click on the red subscribe button. You'll be kept up to date with email updates of all my latest uploads, plus there's a healthy back catalogue of older videos to work your way through. Anyway, as I say, I've got the sun, I'm absolutely knackered. I've got to still pedal, albeit with a bit of pedal assistance with the electric bike. So, till next time, guys, take care. And wherever you're fishing, wherever you're wetting a line, hope you're getting a good bend in your rod and a good bulge in your landing net too. See you soon. Goodbye.